ladies and gentlemen? We are the Millie Goats. We now have a guest, as you saw in the promos. And if you are watching Georgia, Alabama, in your face, if you are a Georgia fan, that sucks for you. Season's not over yet, but thank goodness there's a 12-team playoff. Anyways, we're here to talk NFL Pick'ems contest. We stink. There was a hero in the comments. JBonez is here, said hero, a man of many talents, a man who played a lot of Call of Duty with me, or I played with him. Let me say that. I was not anywhere near a line mover of the Call of Duty record. An Ohio State fan, a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and a great chef, might I add. JBonez, welcome to the show. How we doing?
You know it all. Thank you.
Thanks
for having me.
You are not new to this. You used to have a very well run. Everybody gets what was it?
Everyone gets a trophy. Football. There's also a wrestling podcast, and it was well run. We had good intel, so you start there, and everything else becomes easy. And hopefully, we can do that here.
Yes. That is why you were rattling off, and I remember you had screenshots last week while we were doing this, of things that you said that did come true.
We had Malik Neighbors 2 touchdowns.
Yes,
we had Broncos, which you referred to as disgusting.
I did.
Eagles said there was value there. They were preseason. That line was they were favored. Now they were a dog. Take the money. A couple other ones. Steelers, big win over the Chargers. That got laughed at on this show. So, who's laughing now? Ha, ha, ha. But that was off the top of my head, Adam. This wasn't a research thing. So having, knowledge about this fateful night tonight, we've got 5 pages of Microsoft Word documents that we're ready to rip through in 5-0.
Yes,
5 our big number today?
Very possible, and we need it because we are, and I'm going to pull up last week's, let's just call it, we'll call them picks if you want to call them that, but here they are. We started off with picking Tennessee, 2.5-point favorites versus Green Bay. Can you tell us what we did wrong there?
You did the same thing I think a lot of people did, where you said Tennessee knows Malik. They're going to put him in the ground, and it's going to be an easy win. So no fault on you.
No. Yes, but that was bad. We cannot trust Will Levis anymore, can we?
This is the week. We take everything we've lost. We double it up. That's Monday Night Football. We'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Tease.
Wait a minute. You're going to come on the show.
So I keep people around at the end of the show. Now they're going to go, Will Levis again?
The Maybe. Mayo Man? Oh, the Mr. Viral every week? Some photo? Oh my gosh. And then we laughed, but we took your advice for the Pittsburgh. That was one of our wins. And then we get down here to the Philly New Orleans game last week.
What happened?
Ugly game, might I say. Might I add? Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. He was holding his headset. He was holding the headset.
TV. Anything can happen.
That's true.
Let's go plan B.
Plan B. Okay.
We have options here.
But yes, we chose New Orleans again. Why? I don't know. We believed in Derek Carr. Why did we believe in Derek Carr? Why did we think what's his face, the coach for the Saints, Dennis Allen? Why did we think he could do this? Not that we believed in Philly that much. But we did pick the Saints.
Here we go. You're back.
At home. Okay, he's back. What?
We got hacked. We had too many wins.
I mean, why did we pick the Saints?
I don't know. I told you Eagles.
You did. And we still yet thought that the Saints somehow were worth a pick. Out of all the games, 16, we bet on the Saints.
Listen, the Saints had that run. They showed out against the Cowboys. They had all those drives and points. Derek Carr, David Carr, I forget his first name. One of the two. He looked great. And just not sustainable. We've got another one of those coming up. That's another tease. But
yes,
you're putting up all these points. Something's going to happen. And Eagles maybe figured some things out on defense. The Fangio defense, people bought in. Some injuries on the offensive line. It was a perfect storm. Birds win.
They needed that win. That was a desperation win. That was season
Well, after
saving.
Monday Night Football, yeah. I mean, you figured they were going to win and lose one of them. I think that's the 2-1 start's kind of what you circle in the preseason. It just was a goofy way to get there.
Yes. They did beat the Packers, didn't they?
They did in a third world country.
Yes, Brazil.
Shout out to our viewers in Brazil.
Shout out to you guys. So we did that. Then we came down here, and the Bears stink. I don't care what anybody does with Caleb Williams. I don't care that he threw for 350 yards. I watch him play. The dude's late. He doesn't see the field. Don't care. And Anthony Richardson on the other side, just as bad. But the Colts were at home, and the Bears stink. So that was that.
Caleb Williams stunk when he played a real defense in college. Notre Dame made him look goofy. And not everyone's Washington State. So welcome to the NFL, Caleb. He'll eventually figure it out and realize that even when guys like Pat Mahomes are off schedule, they're still on schedule. And anytime you're with Anthony Richardson, it's a nightmare. I don't. He makes throws that no one else in the league can make, and he misses throws that everyone, including the cheerleaders, can make. So,
yes,
fun.
he is. The bomb that he threw will be the reason why the Colts continue to play him. With the one he threw in week 1, the reasons why they continue to play him for the foreseeable future. It's like, wow, not everybody can do that. It's like, yeah, but then he airmailed like 3 out routes into the stands somehow and threw that abysmal pick against Chicago on the goal line where he just kind of chucked it forward somehow. But yeah, and then of course, if you're going to bet against the Chiefs, you have to know that it's going. Of course, it would come down to a last play, but when you bet on them, it's not for 3 points. It's, to lose by 6.
The Falcons played the Chiefs. I thought it was the Falcons had the referees in that game.
Ah, yes.
Ugh.
Yep. Well,
I had pass interference in the end zone personally.
Well, if you ask everybody last week that's a Chiefs fan, they would say that was clearly pass interference, and they'd send you the clip and say, you agree this is pass interference.
Yep.
So naturally, what I would do is get the same clip from this week and send it back to all the Chiefs fans and say, this was pass interference. You would agree, right?
I called it deep fake.
Yep.
Yep.
So, anyways, that was last week. But we can't live in last week. We just can't do it. We cannot live there. That's gone. Let bygones be bygones. We have not yet gone 5-0, but I'm confident that we will. And because of this, I have put together a PowerPoint presentation of what we need to do this week.
You can't call it a PowerPoint presentation. That's a very millennial term. You got to call it a slide deck.
What? Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what that's what they call it now. Yeah,
a slide deck.
Yeah, we're review the slide deck. You don't say PowerPoint presentation because then you're discriminating. You're saying you're only a Microsoft guy. You could be using other software. It's a slide deck. You print it in PDF.
Oh, that sounds like a real thing. I don't work in that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to reach a younger market, call it a slide deck. If you want to stick with these old heads, then go ahead. By all means, PowerPoint.
Okay, slide deck. We're gonna have big deck energy on this show. Slide deck. BMO's here, and then Spencer, is this live? Yes, this is live.
Yep. We'll do it live.
You better believe it. So stay tuned, buckle up. Here comes the PowerPoint presentation. Slide deck. Damn it, I did it again. That was a real Michael Scott move of me there. So why are you eating the tiramisu? Stop it! You keep coughing. I can't put it down. Okay, goat notes. There you go. Saquon Barkley. Drafted him everywhere. Credit to me. Drafted him every single league I had because he's too good. He's too good to be that bad on that team of the Giants.
Well, I saw in redrafts he's pick 101. So shout out to you for catching value.
Hey, I knew it. I did. People are like, you wouldn't draft CMC. I'm like, at some point, I know enough about the human body that when calf soreness starts, that is not good.
I think our mutual friend did get that memo. So shout out to Brett.
Shout out, dude. No, you have to know. You have to. It's like the Derrick Henry thing. Everybody's like, no, he's still pretty healthy. So as long as he's healthy, you can take Derrick Henry. Anyways, 2-3 last week. Tennessee, New Orleans, Atlanta. You all stink. Why do we keep betting on the NFC South? I don't know. Why do we keep betting on the AFC South? I have no idea. What was that? Idiots. We got scared. We did not go anything above 3.5, even though somebody in the comments in the chats was saying we should. We did not. We were too Southeast biased week 3. We have to.
Ironically, you talked to us on the SEC this morning, and now here we
I,
are.
yes, I hate the SEC, and yet here I am. After I reviewed our picks, I was like, I was too much in the South. So that's just, I got to look in the mirror. And lastly, have fun. It was not advice, but now it is advice because we have somebody who's got quite a bit of information and knowledge. We'll say
Allegedly.
that. Allegedly. Well,
Not
we're about
giving
to find
advice.
out. So, okay. That's it. Goat Notes, NFL Week 4. We move on. Next. Let me get this out of here. Just before we get into these, anything that has stuck out to you, per se, my friend?
Well, I have a little edict I live by, and I looked at it. I've been tracking this stuff, picking every game for quite some time using Microsoft Excel. Shout out to Microsoft again.
Yes.
Lines don't matter, and you get just erase it and pick the winner. I think it's a good approach. You go back, this year it's only mattered 7 times. About 85% of the time it doesn't matter. 84 and 23, 87% in 2022, 85 and 21. You have 2 a week. Now we didn't have any last week, so maybe we kind of fix that this week. We already saw the Giants cover, not win the game. So
Shout
when
out
we start
Brandon
seeing
Aubrey.
some numbers, I don't get scared off when you see some of these numbers. It's what the books want you to do. Pick the winner, and 89% of the time you'll be all right.
Okay. 89?
80 to 90%. So I mean,
Oh,
we're trending right around that 85 is the sweet spot for the last 4 years since COVID year. So we'll kind of treat that as the new era of football. And it's a little different now with all this too high safety look, but
don't say that to Mina Kimes.
we'll mansplain too deep to her.
Dude,
That'll
by
get
the
some
way,
viral attention.
I did. That's very true. Clip it, Opus Clips. I did see a stat that Brock Purdy plays against the most 2 high safety looks, and 8 in coverage, and is the most successful. Just fun,
Yeah.
fun fact.
Brock
Just
Purdy, quite human when he's only playing with 2 all-pro weapons instead of 3 or 4.
that game was. If Ronnie Bell could catch, that game was over. And if Matt Stafford could play football without getting 600 pass interferences that he somehow seems to get every game I watch him play, then maybe we're looking at a different score there. Little
A lot of
story
ifs.
change.
A lot of ifs. If my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle.
Okay, right here, 1:00 slate. I have looked over these, and I want to get nasty. And I'm just going to give you. We're going to go through these, but I'm going to give you my 5 that I saw that I was like, I think I'm a psychopath. And it's Jacksonville, disgusting. It's Carolina. It's Washington. It's Buffalo. It's Detroit.
All right, you want to throw some bombs out of the gate? My juiciest factoid comes from that Jags Texans game.
Yes, love it. I knew. I
All
was
right,
looking at it. I'm
so
like, come on.
in a situation here to start off, we got Trevor Lawrence has lost 8 straight games, obviously due for a win. But he could just suck. He could be so bad that Urban Meyer gets a phone call in the offseason. Maybe he wasn't the problem in Jacksonville. Meanwhile, this is a series. Obviously, they play at least twice a year. The home team's lost 5 in a row. Mixon is back. Tank Dell is out. The Texans offense last year kind of, came on the scene with CJ Stroud, ended up being the better quarterback of the top 2. The offense this year is down 4.5 points through the first, 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's driven by penalties. They have 3 times the average amount of false starts a game. They're a disaster. And you go through the referees that refereed the games they played. Week 1, they went on the road. They played against a homer ref, John Hussey. Week 2, good defense. Again, Lane Clark was a referee, has a history of calling a lot of offensive penalties. And then last week, Sean Hockley leads referees in offensive penalties called. Now they're back home. I have a gentleman by the name of Trey Blake who comes out of the Carl Sheffers referee tree. You don't know Carl Sheffers? He's chefing up for the home team. Big homer ref. Trey Blake has become a homer ref. Home teams against the spread are 7-1. So I think the way things went for the Texans last week, kind of getting humbled. It's funny, 2 weeks ago, you had the Bears game, and afterwards, CJ Stroud was all of a sudden this, like, 20-year vet, patting Caleb on the back saying, "It'll get better, buddy." Fast forward a week, and now it was another USC quarterback kinda giving him the business back. So I think chip on their shoulder. Obviously, the Jags kind of, you'd think, wanna play the chip on their shoulder, but maybe if they just stink at this point. Texans get right, cover the spread. They're really never in doubt.
Okay. So you think lock, absolute lock?
That's
Going with
my
lock.
favorite of the day, I think, is the
Then
Texans.
I will go ahead and put that in there because I wanted to be like, you know what, Jags due for a win, haven't won since Thanksgiving, and then no, I Texans coming off a loss, humiliating loss, right the ship. CJ Stroud's better than that. We all know it. You know it. I know it. We know it. And
I
maybe,
think the Jaguars are gonna be like the fake savvy, trendy pick. People will say, "Oh, they lost in prime time. They bounced back. Those dogs are 60%." Well, they're 40% of the time they lose, and this is probably one of those 40%.
Spencer. Spencer has a nice comment here. Big week for favorites. Everyone is going to hop on the dog train. It's hot. Time to zag. Was it you that told me there was was it 12-1? Like teams that were like 6.5-point dogs were 12-1.
Yeah.
Like for the first 3 weeks.
Listen, there's a nice city built in the desert for a reason. If you think that Vegas hasn't already accounted for this and adjusted some lines to try to get on the right side of it, it's the favorite week. I think no, I know, we could talk your team now, the 49ers. So
Oh, okay. Yeah,
all
you
3
go ahead.
weeks, all 3 weeks, the biggest dog has won outright. The Patriots beat the Bengals as a 7-point dog in week 1. The Raiders beat the Ravens, 8.5-point dog in week 2. And last week, the Commanders did it on Monday Night Football, plus 7.5. I'm telling you, lines don't matter. You know that.
Yep.
And the same can be said for favorites. It's a 49ers kind of just ground and pound. The Patriots offensive line is terrible. I mean, it's bad.
Terrible.
They can't even run the ball. They're afraid to put their rookie quarterback out there. They're going to let Jacoby Brissett go out to slaughter until they can kind of get some guys back and maybe make it work well enough for Drake to come out and, show why they drafted him in the first round. Ain't the week. 49ers had just a brutal loss. I don't want to rub salt in wounds, but you know it.
Yeah.
I know it. They know it. I don't have the numbers. I did see when teams blow a 10-point lead and gotta get, humbled, the next week they fix it. So 49ers will come out, talk props. I got 5 guys I like to score touchdowns this
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
Your boy Jordan Mason's one of them. We can circle back to that parlay at the end, but
Yes.
put Jordan Mason on the list. I think the Patriots, I know the Patriots have allowed a rushing touchdown in all 3 games this year. Who's going to run in for the Niners? You know better than me, but I think Jordan Mason's a safe pick.
Yes, I think for sure Jordan Mason. The Patriots offense, it has been bad watching them try to protect Jacoby Brissett. I mean, bad, dude. It's been bad. And then Drake May came in there. They put him in there with like 2 minutes to go. He gets Goldberg speared, right in the middle of the center ring, just feet flying up in the air. Georgia is only 5 points down.
Yeah, Georgia's cut it to 5 with 5:39 left.
I just saw that. Holy moly.
Bama's got to
Wow.
be able to get a couple first downs, right?
I don't know.
That town will burn if they blow a 28-0 lead.
Oh my, 28. Is this Atlanta, New England
Well,
situation here?
Georgia, I mean, is this redemption for them?
This could be it. Okay. So you well, I'm just going to go ahead and click these right now. So we've got Houston, we've got San Francisco.
I like
right.
it. I don't know if it's enough to be a top 5, but
Okay. I'm just going to click it and then
yeah, we'll assess at the end.
Yes. Okay. Moving on. I know. Do you want to go straight from the top, or do you have another one in your power rankings that you would like to go?
We work in order. So I kind of have it broken down on my side, which I can flip through. There's divisional home dogs, which keep that to the end. That's the big Chiefs Chargers game. 3 divisional matchups, and the other one I like to look at and really pay close attention to is conference games that feature a rematch. So if it's the playoffs, sometime last year, sometimes you play the same team over and over again. Broncos and Jets is going to be the 4th year in a row, even though they're not the same division. playing the fourth year. So there's a familiarity there, something to consider. But we could take from the top because one of those conference rematches just happens to be the Eagles and Bucks, who played twice last year.
And playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Wheels fell apart for the Eagles at the end of the year. They played them on Monday Night Football week 3, I believe. They had A.J. Brown. Just dusted him. No problem. A.J. Brown was out for the playoffs. The wheels came off. They couldn't really do anything right. And we saw the Bucks kind of blow them out. Coming into this game, I know the Bucks have a lot of injuries. Offensive line is not ideal to begin with. The guy who is on there, this guy, Cody Mauch, leads the league in pressures allowed by a guard, 14 through 3 weeks. He's going up against Jalen Carter, speaking of the Dogs. So
pressure up the middle is never good for a quarterback. If you get pressure up the middle, that is not good.
Yeah. So, I mean, so many quarterbacks make their money stepping up in the pocket. If you can prevent that, and even, some of these offenses are so timing based, throw them off schedule. Well, things play in your favor. I think they started figuring some things out. We saw pissed off Saquon last week. He's another guy. I think he finds the end zone. But, only -1.5. The weather's going to be an issue. I think it said it'll feel like 99 degrees with all the mugginess. Oh. So if we can, ground and pound, burn clock, give Saquon the ball, let him eat. Hopefully he can come out unscathed. But I think the Eagles are enough to cover that.
Oh, so you're saying they win on the road?
Mm-hmm. A little revenge spot.
Revenge.
I like humbling in the first round. It's a allow me to reintroduce myself. They did it already last year. Same teams, fully healthy. A.J. Brown looks like he's trending towards playing. Devontae Smith looks like he's trending towards not playing. But really, the absence of A.J. has felt a lot more than Devontae.
Yes, Covey's out too, right?
Yeah. Yep. So they called up Paris Campbell. They called up John Ross, speedster from Washington, who ran fast, couldn't really do anything. I think he was on the Bengals. I don't think he's playing a professional game since 2021. So he's farted around the practice squad. They're going to call him up. What's Devontae? Fast? I mean, didn't win a Heisman for Alabama, but who knows? Maybe John Ross can find some space. Paris Campbell's another one. He's shifty in space. Running back, receiver, move him around, deploy him.
I used to call him long toss John Ross.
He was awesome in Madden.
I just go down the field, buddy. Him and Robbie Anderson, the greatest. I mean, if they were on the same team, oh my gosh, third down. What? Oh, sorry, this is outright.
I'm watching. You're a little bit ahead of me.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm going for it here, personally.
We got Mark in here too. Found myself favoring the favorites, and I actually favored the Dogs last week. So he's saying he likes your thoughts, Spencer. Okay, Mark.
Okay, bring
buckle up. We got Denver and New York, the Jets, Jets, Jets. Revenge game for Zach Wilson. Tribute video, maybe, perhaps.
I'm coming home.
Please do a tribute video for Zach Wilson.
There were a lot of whiteboard material in the preseason. The Sean Payton trashing Nat Hackett and Aaron Rodgers coming to his defense. Aaron Rodgers is 15-6 against rookie quarterbacks, and he's won the last 7 outright. This could be number 8. I don't know. Did you see Thursday Night Football? There was like a little bit of a moment between Saleh and Rodgers, and people thought maybe they were beefing, but then Rodgers clarified that Saleh always likes to say 2-score lead, 2-score lead. And they got the 2-score lead, and Rodgers came over and was like, 2-score lead.
Well, that's what that was?
Yeah. What's a 2-score lead get you tomorrow?
Okay.
Get you a win and a cover.
I made so many memes off of that. It was unbelievable. Okay.
It's the 4th year in a row they've met up.
Okay.
The Jets won outright last year as a dog, and they covered as a favorite in 22. So a little bit of history. Jets seem to roll. That Jets team with Zach Wilson, the Wilson Bowl.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Denver.
Extra time, too, because they play on that Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. You like the Jets there?
I do. Oh, my God.
What the flip is going on right now? Oh, my Lord. Sorry. Momentary break from the action. I just spent the last 3 hours sending out tweets and posts about how trash Georgia is, and they're about to win the game. This chick's crying. She's crying in the stands. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, they're
Haven't seen a Bama fan like that in the stands at Ohio State blew her doors off and the girl was picking her nose
dude, there's so
and
many
eating it.
people doing this.
I know. That's new this.
Oh my gosh. That's the surrender cobra. The surrender cobra. Oh, wow, this is unbelievable. Oh, okay. So we like the Jets.
Personally.
Okay.
Don't be scared off by the spread. Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. I believe you. I mean, Denver got the win last week. I
Mhm.
just don't see it being
Yep.
repeatable.
Still a rookie quarterback. I mean,
What does Denver do well? That's what I don't
play
get.
some defense.
A little bit.
I think the Jets put some things together 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
say this also, you like props. Garrett
yeah.
Wilson under, contained by Surtain. And I don't
Yep.
think Aaron Rodgers likes him. He throws the ball to Allen Lazard a lot more. So under for Garrett, over
Facts.
for Lazard. Check it out.
Mm. And Braylon Allen somehow falls to the to the to the to the fourth round and looks like an absolute monstrosity out there. Spencer says Denver gets sacked well. Ask TJ. Oh, I guess he's meaning TJ Watt. TJ Watt sacks everybody, dude. And Mark says, I think the Jets defense gets after Knicks. That was their MO. Was they were supposed to be that was their defense. Indianapolis, Pittsburgh at Indy. Pittsburgh 2.5-point favorites. Is the Justin Fields party? Are we? What do we think? You're the guy. Remember, you and I talked a lot about Justin Fields.
I stand by it. So
Okay.
talking matchups, this is the third straight year that they faced off. They played last year towards the end of the year. It was like a Saturday afternoon game. Mitch Trubisky versus Gardner Minshew.
Oh, the MVP.
It was what was the catalyst to the Steelers moving to Mason Rudolph. One of the last 3 games of the year, went to the playoffs.
The
This year,
catalyst.
the Steelers offense is at the bottom of passing yards, bottom of yards per carry, bottom of touchdowns per game. I will say that's a good catch.
Dude,
Oh, field goal
watch what
range.
this guy
Oh
does.
my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Go down, dude. Just go down. Okay. Well, okay.
What is going on?
This game's fun.
Sorry.
All right, so take
Wow.
a look. These 2 quarterbacks, their passing charts. You can go on NFL Next Gen Stats and look at the passing charts. Justin Fields week 1 was all outside the numbers. You're like, oh my god, they're afraid to let him throw it over the middle. By week 3, they're starting to really distribute it across the field. It's a lot more of a professional quarterback at this point. Anthony Richardson, there was some distribution week 2. Last week, just outside the numbers, he's a complete wild card. Ultimately, their defense bend but didn't break against Caleb Williams last week. They forced the turnovers. Cole Kmet did have 97 yards last week, so this could be a Freiermuth game if the Steelers are comfortable enough to let Fields
Oh, the
sling it over the
Muth.
middle. The
The Muth is
Muth
loose.
could be the Muth is loose, but at the same time, the sexy pick is always Tomlin as a dog. No matter where he is, he can get the troops up. They don't know respect, no respect. Tomlin is a dog. You just love to take it.
Mm.
He's a favorite. He's on the road. Way too many people are interested in the Steelers. I think at this point, they got the Cowboys coming up. I think the Colts could kind of, people look up on Monday. How the hell did the Steelers lose to the Colts? I think that's this game tomorrow.
I agree. I
I
agree
think
with
the
that a
Steelers would be
lot.
happy with 4-1 or 3-1 to start the year.
I
So it's
think
kind of
so.
fits into their plan too. So it's hard to win every game in the NFL. It's just going to be one of those weird ones in Indianapolis. Justin Fields has played in the stadium before, 2020 and 2019 Big Ten Championship game. The 2020 Big Ten Championship game went 12 for 27, 114 yards, and 2 interceptions in Lucas Oil Stadium. So house of horrors for Fields.
He doesn't like getting oiled up. That's
I like
Will
getting oiled
Levis.
up. Yeah, that's Will Levis and P. Diddy.
Costco came out quick to debunk that.
Yes.
Spencer says, if Anthony Richardson was the biggest wild card ever, same term used, this would line up to be a classic Tomlin loss. Spencer, let me say this. Have you heard that Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season? I just want to throw that out there.
Don't forget.
I actually like the Colts in this one. I think Ant gets to running or they don't move the ball. I think that's going to be a big thing against this. Like Steelers get after the quarterback, and that will favor Anthony Richardson more because you're not sacking Bo Nix back there. Anthony Richardson is a large human being, very large.
It's just don't turn it over. There's so many
Yes.
Steelers games where you have the other side, you're like, I got this. This is easy. And they just throw a pick six for no reason. It's like there's a minute 30 left in the first half. They just take the knee, go to halftime. They force it, go
TJ
the other
Watt
way. Yeah,
picks.
DJ Watt strip sack, interception, impregnates your wife. It's just a disaster. How did this happen? Kind of like this drunk game we're watching here. Maybe both Georgia and Alabama stink, and that's what we're learning today.
Maybe. What happened to the defense? That's what I want to know. Well, they've
It's all in Columbus.
they've taken it. That's true. Because didn't they just pull away from Michigan State?
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan
Okay.
Day didn't give any player of the games last week because they gave up 2 touchdowns to Marshall.
Hey,
He's out
I respect
for
that.
blood. Yep.
I respect that. Okay, we talked about Houston. Green Bay, Minnesota. A lot of stuff up in the air here.
A lot of revenge.
Big time revenge.
So the obvious one everyone's talking about is Aaron Jones. Packers asked him to take a pay cut. He said no. They said he's out. They got Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones went a little bit north. Now he's a Viking. So back to Lambeau Field. I think he could find the end zone potential, prop there. But the other revenge, the one I like here, Justin Jefferson versus Jair Alexander. Because last year, Jair locked him down and hit him with a gritty. And Justin
I
Jefferson
remember that.
ain't going to like that. Jair was a little bit ouchy this week. A couple DNPs on the injury report. I think maybe Justin Jefferson takes advantage of that. We talk defenses. Where's the defenses? Brian Flores is just doing things right now for Minnesota. Brock Purdy said, he's been known twice by the defense. He acknowledged Flores does a really good job disguising stuff and then dropping guys out. He says they play like the tape looks, but the execution is just on another level, and it just creates difficulties for him. We saw CJ Stroud, who was the darling last year. He was a shell of himself last week too. And, if it weren't for a couple perfect passes, drops in the bucket, they're not getting those chunk yards. I think the Vikings won with Cousins last year, but then the Packers won when Jordan Love kind of came into his own at the end of the year in Lambeau. I don't know why the spread is 3. It feels like they knew from the start this is going to be a Jordan Love plays game. I think they've said as much up to this point. They split every year. Last 4 years they split. So I think this is the spot where Jordan Love may not be 100%, be able to do all his tricks. Flores takes advantage. They win now. Mark the tape will come back at the end of the year, and we'll take the Vikings or the Packers to win up in Minnesota later this year.
Yeah, so the theory on how you beat the Vikings is he's going to blitz, and just basically leave parts of the flat open. He's just going to say, we're going to blitz over here, heavy fire blitz, and then we're just going to make you dump it off because that's where the throw is. And we're going to bore you to death, and you're going to get so sick of it that you're going to want to throw it deep, and then boom, sack or pick. So he's got it absolutely cooking. So crazy, dude. It's crazy how that defense is just eating people alive. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Flores
yes.
gets a bad rap.
Mike Tomlin, 17 years, 0 losing seasons. This year, 8-1, 7-2, then fizzle, 9-8, 10-2. Oh, you're saying the streak is alive. Mark says Vikings eaten.
Tomlin is due for a tie, so we could have an 8-8-1 year.
Yes. Didn't they do that recently? I think they did it recently.
I don't know. What's the spread? 1? This could be a tie situation where you're plus 1.5 covers.
It's a 2.5.
It's 2.5?
Yeah.
Right.
Steelers
it's moving.
It's moving. Steelers -2.5. Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to find what the prop is to have a tie because maybe we'll add a little wet the beak action.
Yeah, you look for that. This next game, the Bears at the Rams at the Bears.
Why is that spread the way it is?
I don't know. I don't know. It says on this screen right here what this says. Now sometimes it updates after I refresh it or something, but I'm not going to do that right now. But it's a 2.5. The Bears are favored, and I don't know why.
Pause.
Okay.
Go back to the Steelers real quick.
Go ahead.
Beamo asked me for a stat. I gave it to him, and he refused to tell you on the Wednesday show, and he shouted me out, but he never said it, and I forgot to say it here because I thought he was going to say it. If you take the Steelers opponent to win the first half and the Steelers to win the full game, plus 700, plus 100, it's hit twice already this year. So that's kind of the game they play where it looks like hell in the first half, and they figure it out and get it right by the halftime. So I know your contest only allows so much, but if we can get the Colts plus money in the first half, there's your win right there, and then be done it way before the witching hour, way before anything goes backwards. So back to you, Bears.
Phenomenal.
Why is the line 2.5, Adam?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So when I put my notes together, we can check on action. The Rams were 80% of the money going their way.
Okay.
And that's an immediate red flag alert. Right now, 78, so it's still that way. Rams defense is 31st in hitting the quarterback and 32nd in yards per play. They don't get to him. I know we've seen Caleb look silly a lot, but maybe this is when people go, that's why he's the number one pick. The other thing of note, Bears haven't been able to run all year. Apparently, they're going to give Roschon Johnson some touches.
Saw that.
Now, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. You look at not Taylor Swift, DeAndre Swift's average per carry when he was a Lion, when he was an Eagle, it's 3, it's 4. Now it's like 1 point something. So I don't think a guy just falls off like that. There's probably some bigger issues there. Regardless, Roschon Johnson, maybe he's the catalyst, the straw that stirs the drink. Regardless, I think people can relax in Chicago come Monday morning after they beat the Rams.
And speaking of catalyst, didn't Roschon Johnson play where?
Pitt.
Texas.
Texas USC backfield.
Cattle. Oh, I'm pretty sure he played at Texas. Somebody look that up.
Do you have a stat guy on the show?
BMO. Where did Roschon Johnson play?
He's going to have a tough time spelling that name.
I think it's Texas.
I have
Mark says he's got the
here.
Bears. He doesn't know why, but he does.
Texas.
Well, was it Texas?
It's Texas.
There you go. Catalyst. Bevo. Horns down. Get him.
You do that in the SEC.
Thank you, Mark.
Where men are men.
Mark's where it's at. That's it. He says he doesn't know why. The reason, like you just said, the Rams do not get to the quarterback. And Caleb Williams loves nothing more than to stand in the pocket, look like he's going to throw it deep, and then spin around and run around. So he'll have plenty of time to do that. Cincinnati at Carolina, and Cincinnati's favored by 4.5.
If you believe that this league is fixed, you would point to Andy Dalton facing Marvin Lewis and the Raiders last week, and then the Bengals in the second week after supplanting the number 1 overall pick in the draft 2 years ago. Doesn't make any sense.
Which was hilarious, by the way. That
True.
The Panthers, who couldn't score a touchdown in 2 years, suddenly outburst for 38 points as soon as they benched that guy.
Should have drafted CJ Stroud, I guess.
Yes. Yep.
We have another 80%. 80% of the money's on the Bengals. Listen, they got to win, right? I mean, if they had a little bit of a defense, they would have won on Monday Night Football. Joe Burrow scored when he needed to score. 4th and 2 converted. Higgins is back. The offense is moving. They got to figure some things out on defense. I saw who's the defensive end for the Bengals.
Hendrickson?
Yeah, he was out with an illness, so maybe he was a little sick on Monday, and that's why he just didn't show up in the backfield at all. They're missing DJ Reader, but that's so much money. I mean, I leave it off the contest, but if we want to pick for the sake of an argument, the Panthers probably shock the world again.
Revenge game. Panthers win this game. Cards go right. Eagles beat the Bucks. Falcons beat the Saints. Panthers are tied for the division lead.
And they're out of the Carson Beck sweepstakes.
No, that's not a sweepstakes, dude. That is not a sweepstakes. Fun fact about Cincinnati, there is a scenario where the Bengals went out and missed the playoffs. That is a fun fact.
That's a very fun fact.
It's a very fun fact.
That's the funnest fact of the day.
We got a lock of the week. Mark with the lock of the week, Cincy. Okay, Mark.
Hey, sometimes the public's right.
Could be.
All right. I like Mark. Bengals.
Okay,
Not for the
Bengals.
contest.
Not for the contest. Even though it's your lock. We're not lock shaming. We wouldn't do that. Nobody's lock shaming over here. Okay, next. This I don't even want to. Do you even want to talk about this game?
A
Saints
lot of
Falcons
offensive linemen out.
for the Saints Falcons.
Saints and Falcons. Saints missing two of their interior pieces. Kamara, he was showing up on injury reports questionable. Olave tweaked the hamstring on Friday. Bijan and Judon did practice on Friday. 70% of the Saints, or 70% of the money was on the Saints earlier. The Falcons are kind of in an all-in situation, right? They go out and get Kirk Cousins. They've added Simmons, added Judon. Like they're here to do something. I think what's going to start to turn, 78%. We're going to get to the end of the year and go, how the hell did Saints blow the doors off the Cowboys? Because they're going to be like a 3-13 team at the end of the year, but they just had an exciting beginning of the year. I think it's the Eagles broke their souls. Falcons will cover the 2.5.
I agree. I agree with that. I think the Falcons should have won that game on Monday. That was garbage. Is Bijan
Yeah, they should have
good?
lost the Eagles game. So again, same situation where you look at the schedule and you say we hope to be this. You have a good luck on a Monday night, bad luck on a Sunday night. Probably the outcome should have been flipped, but here we are.
There
Windshield, not rear view.
Everything this man said, I just agree with.
Acknowledge me.
Come on. Yeah. I think
brother?
The Cowboys just suck. I think the Cowboys suck. I'm sorry.
Beat the good teams, lose to the bad teams.
That's what
beat
they
the bad
do.
teams, lose to the good teams.
They're in bizarro world. They've lost both their home games, but now they're 2-0 on the road. They've completely flipped.
Well, look, the Cowboys are stupid. Sorry, Jerry. The league, Mina Kimes, shout out. 2 high safeties. They're going to give you the ball underneath. You got to run the ball. And, I'm all for nostalgia. 85 yards to the heart of the South. Ezekiel Elliott, sure. You can't go in with that running back. Guys like Derrick Henry were out there. J.K. Dobbins, the Chargers got him for,
resurgence.
Some Tic Tacs. These are options they could have gone out before, Ezekiel Elliott because he won a rushing title as a rookie. They put a lot of money into some resources. Even Micah Parsons doesn't look very good anymore. I don't know if his heart's just not in it or what.
He had 2 tackles yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the other day.
I hate when the edge rusher checks out.
It's awful. It's just a waste of space.
He's
Can't
out.
stand it.
Get me out. And I got it. My legs hurt.
Okay. So
we talked Niners already.
Cover the 2.5 with KO.
Coup.
Carry on my young wayward son.
He's awesome until you need him.
Very true.
Shout out Brandon Aubrey.
Shout out Brandon. Oh my gosh. Well, depending on which side you were on. Falcons hopefully blow the hinges off Saints, and I'm from Louisiana. Saints and Cowboys do blow. There you go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Oh,
intercepted.
100%. What is going on? Did he throw another pick?
Yeah, he underthrew the receiver.
Of course he did.
That's a win.
Here you go. Where's it at? Here it is. Sweepstakes. There it is, Mark. Wow.
All right. This game's over. Focus the second half. We feel like we're playing the Steelers right now.
Okay.
Oh, the Steelers. Slow for first half, strong second half.
Should have cashed out at 8X.
Should have, Brett. Those $8. You could have covered your Bob Evans breakfast.
Oh, you coward.
Okay. I made a joke. I took the Tide, and when it was 28-0, I was like, should I cash out? I could have it was like plus 2,000. Sprinkled Georgia and really enjoyed the game, but here I am sweating it for no freaking reason. 11:30 on Saturday night. What do we got? Oh, I like this one. I got
Washington, Arizona.
I got something to our real bettors. Your contest is what it is. Okay. Let's start with these Commanders. 2023, they played. This is a rematch. Commanders had 10 unanswered. It was a witching hour special. They won 2016, but didn't cover the 7-point spread. Now we get to this year, the Jaden Daniels era. And if we don't count those kneel downs at the end of the halftime, end of the game, whatever, the Commanders have scored points now on 13 straight drives. Going backwards, they had a touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal. This is the game against the Giants. Field goal. Go back to week 1, touchdown, finally a punt. sometime in week 1. That isn't sustainable. Commanders are the only team in the NFL right now that has not turned the ball over. Eckler, a couple days, did not practice. The Cardinals have looked good, lost some games against some tough competition, Bills included. Cardinals are going to win this one. Commanders are going to be the Commanders. I am scared of this line. I say it doesn't matter, but this is the one that startles me the most because of what Jaden Daniels can do. We could have ourselves a 28-17 game. Garbage time, witching hour. Jaden Daniels comes right down, scores a touchdown. So if you're interested in betting this, what I recommend is the Cardinals money line parlayed with over 40 points. You can do it on DraftKings. You're getting plus money on that bet. That's the opportunity right there. Not sweat the Jaden Daniels experience. But I think I may not like the Cardinals so much that I would consider it a play for this contest.
I like the Cardinals too. There's too much magic going on in Washington. It's not sustainable. It's just not sustainable.
It's the Saints. It's the Saints 2 weeks ago, and then they just ran into a buzzsaw. Cardinals got dogs. The Saint. You want to talk player props? Let's go through who Washington has played. Week 1 was the Bucks. Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns. Week 2, Malik Neighbors, touchdowns. Last week, they played the Bengals. Jamar Chase finally got his touchdowns. That being said, put Marvin Harrison on the ticket. He scored a touchdown tomorrow.
Woo! I also like Michael Wilson for DraftKings. Those of you watching who play DraftKings DFS.
Don't tell him that. That's how you lose. This is your competition. You got to be like, true. I love Alvin Kamara. Didn't practice all week, but hey, love him.
Alvin Kamara, love him. The Cardinals the Commanders cannot stop anybody from throwing the football. And then you run into, look at Joe Burrow last week. Kyler Murray can also throw the football a little bit. So
if the Bengals play this much defense, this much, that's all I had to play, they win the game. I think the Cardinals have this much in them.
Okay. Look at Mark. He needs hey, dude, start a pod. Really on my mind. Cars should get this one. There you go. We'll be on your
Discord. Not the podcasts are for old people. You got to start Discord and charge people to pay for it for the secret picks. That's how the kids.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. Join my Discord. Okay. If I'm not right, all picks the rest of the year are free. My Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock of the year. This is my biggest unit max play. Stu Feiner, shout out. Matthew McConaughey played in a movie.
The Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock.
Yeah, that's an old Tony Bruno adage.
This is my Cold Stone Creamery marble slab. Get your ice cream out, lay it on the table, chop it up, put it in the cup, roll it up, boom, rolled ice cream lock of the year.
I don't know if you remember what you just said. Go back and clip it because you need to trademark that, John, and make it your thing every week because that is perfectly named. Maybe you can get a deal out of Cold Stone.
The Cold Stone marble slab ice cream roller lock pick of the week. And I will then phone you and say, give me a pick, and then we will collaborate on it. And then put it in a little ice cream cup. Okay, where are we at? Okay, so we like the Cardinals. We have to go back, and then we'll review all these. Just kind of which ones we want to put in there. Cleveland versus the Raiders. This is disgusting. And I feel like when I say that, you're going to give me some sort of nugget. That
this is the game I have the least notes for. But okay. Antonio Pierce pretty much called out the team last week, threw a lot of guys under the bus. Fast forward this week, Devontae Adams is out. Max Crosby is out. The quarterback is going to be who? Aiden O'Connell? At this point, we got to go Jimmys and Joes versus X's and O's. Maybe Deshaun Watson is in Vegas and enjoying himself right now. Browns win. Browns cover. Start the Devontae Adams to Steelers rumors.
This game is it's rubbing me the wrong way. Oh, sorry, that was bad. Okay, I don't want to have anything to do with this game.
No one's here for that coverage.
Get it off the board. Chiefs at the Chargers. I love this one.
This one has my brain in a pretzel.
Love it.
I don't know. So we have a divisional home dog, which I like to pay attention to every week. The Giants were divisional home dog covered. That becomes 8-0 divisional home dogs this year. Going back to 2020, it's kind of my point. I was really tracking things. Divisional underdogs, 73-59. It's a place of attention. This matchup we see twice a year, and if we go back, Chiefs have won the last 5. Chargers actually haven't won as a home team since they were a team playing in San Diego. But in the last 5 games, the Chiefs have won the average margin of victory 5.4 points. They won by 1. 14 really pushing that number up. They have a 3-point win, a 3-point win, a 6-point win. In LA, that averages 3.3, the 1, the 3, and the 6 points. Herbert's questionable. The league suspended Derwin James for God knows what, while the Saints loser who spit on Devontae Adams is just walking the streets of Freeman should be in prison. You got to remember something here. Let's go back in time. 2013 is the year the Eagles move on from Andy Reid. He knows it's coming. He's already on the phone. He works a deal out with the Chiefs. He's going to become their head coach, de facto GM, start a dynasty. Do you remember the quarterback that kind of got them off the ground that first year?
Who, for the Chiefs?
The Chiefs. It was a month after Andy Reid started. The Chiefs acquired
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith for a second-round pick. Lays the foundation, proof of concept. Go get this Mahomes guy late in the first round and become the dynasty they are.
Traded from the Bills, of course.
No, traded from the pick. But Alex Smith was traded from the 49ers.
Yes.
Who was the head coach of the 49ers?
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. So Jim Harbaugh's responsible for this, if you really think about it. And in an Avengers-like trailer, the world comes back to Jim Harbaugh in Ann Arbor, and they say, please, you got this whale going. You're the greatest college football team that has ever seen. He cheated and he ran. But
masterfully, by the way. You have to give him credit for that.
Jim Harbaugh is coming back to the NFL to save it from the Patrick Mahomes dynasty problem. Pound the rock. J.K. Dobbins. Pounds the rock. We saw Bijan Robinson kind of get handled last week, but Algier did an okay job. Dobbins didn't have a good week last week. Gets back on the schneid. Maybe Herbert's a liability, but I like him enough to cover.
That's what I'm talking about.
Some miraculous pass interference call, a Dicker the kicker field goal as we turn off the TV.
Every single Chiefs game, dude, it's the same. It's like everybody's like, you just hate us. I'm like, no, it's like every game you play comes down to some call. I don't care who gets it. It's just every game comes down to that.
This is going to be the game tomorrow where Scott Hansen's like, sorry, I can't show you this. You got to tune in to your local affiliate. He's a liar. When Scott Hansen says 7 hours of commercial-free football tomorrow at 1:03, he's lying because that puts it at 8 o'clock. Red Zone's over by 6:30. So stop telling me it's 7 hours of commercial-free.
Scam artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the things that keep me up at night.
Big 10 after dark, baby. Disgusting. Yes. Whenever you hear the gross, disgusting, pathetic. So Mark likes Carson Steele, 200 yards.
That's a bit aggressive. How about Carson Steele's family? Just didn't believe in his dreams and said we're having a wedding.
Yeah, we're gonna watch you, but
yeah, like when he says I'm gonna play football, they go, "Oh, we're getting married in September
sure
on a
you
Sunday,
will, buddy."
Nice Jewish wedding.
You and your alligator, you guys go chase your dreams out there.
That's insane.
So
good for him skipping the wedding. You never go to a fall wedding.
Agreed.
Anyone getting married in the fall doesn't respect you as a human. It's football season.
Exactly. That's why I got married in May. So
yeah, August.
Yep. Buffalo at Baltimore. 2.5. Baltimore.
This one's gonna hit home, but I've got some things on this one.
Go ahead.
My buddy Howard pointed this out to me. The Bills are literally just copying the Chiefs. They saw them win Super Bowls, and they're just copy artists. So what do? They dump the diva receiver. Stephon Diggs out, Tyreek Hill out. Chiefs had Justin Watson, kind of the receiver that played the blocker role. So Bills find this Matt Collins, an option, third, fourth option, but he blocks well. So go with it. Rasheed Rice, a little slot scat back guy. What's Khalil Shakir?
Dude, Shakir eye for the straight guy?
Shakir eye for the straight guy. He got Dalton Kincaid. He is a pop star away from being the security blanket that Travis Kelce is. And this is where it gets really interesting because when the Bills looked at the Chiefs, they saw this deep threat, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They go, we need a guy like that. They looked high, they looked low. They could not find a guy like that. So what'd they do?
Signed him.
They got that guy, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So it's funny that, here they are, the Bills, the biggest issue is the Chiefs. They built that dynasty. You hit it on it earlier with the Mahomes trade. Now they're just copying them. So hopefully that pays off for them like it has the Chiefs. Bad news for the Bills. Obviously some injuries at safety, linebacker, slot corner. It's going to be an issue.
Not good against the Ravens, who like the middle of the field.
That's
like
my next
Will
note.
Levis. Yes. Oh,
so
yes.
Through the first 3 weeks, the Bills have played teams that play right into the strength of the Bills' defense. So the Cardinals, Dolphins, Jags are all top 10 EPA per attempt outside the numbers. They like to throw it deep. They like to throw it to their guys. The Bills are the number 2 defense versus passes outside those numbers. Number 10 in success rate in those situations. Here come the big bad Ravens because they are number 1 in passes thrown under 5 yards. Bills, they're dead last covering passes thrown behind the line of scrimmage. That's where the Ravens love to play. Look for the running back for the Ravens, not Henry Hill.
Justice
over
Hill.
Receiving yards, over receptions. Big area to use there. The Bills, so they're dead last against balls behind the line of scrimmage, and they're 28th against balls under 5 yards down the field. It's a perfect storm. The Ravens kind of need this win. They had that toe in week 1 that they're battling. The Bills are in a nice, comfortable 3-0, prime time. Ravens are going to pound the rock. They need the win. They'll cover the 2.5. I think there's a good opportunity here to enjoy a favorite winning on Sunday Night Football.
So you like the Ravens?
Yes.
Very
much so. Perfect storm. Game of X's nose.
Picking against America's team there, are we?
What I say, the Bills copied the Chiefs.
True.
How the Chiefs do against the Ravens. 1 toe away from a win. Another layer to this. Who's the Dolphins defensive coordinator?
The Dolphins?
Yes. What's his name?
I'm not sure.
Anthony Weaver. Anthony Weaver was the defensive line coach for the Ravens last year. Little sharing of recipes going on there.
Okay. Who have played the Bills already?
Yep.
Okay. What about
Perfect
the Josh
storm.
Allen? What about the Josh Allen factor?
He's looked really good.
I don't trust Lamar, even though people get mad whenever you say the Ravens are a middle of the field offense, and I'm like, that's because that's how Lamar plays football. Lamar cannot throw to the perimeter very well. Historically, that's not me making things up. That's just how it goes.
He doesn't have to.
He's not a timing.
That easy to throw it short. Throw it short.
It's the timing routes are not his specialty. So,
I got a fun game I like to play.
Go ahead. Let's do that. Then we'll do that question.
Every week I look at the board. I say, who ruins your teaser? So there's 2 things that I like on here. The 2 easy ones. If I'm, Jimmy and Joe, I'm taking the Chiefs. We're teasing that down to a pick 'em. And we're going to take the Bills and we're going to tease it up to a 6.5 or 7.5, 8.5. We're going to add some points to that. Who ruins the teaser? We kind of like the Chargers. This could be an opportunity for them to ruin the teaser. But what if the Ravens ruin your teaser and just come out, get that big lead, and the Bills just can't come from behind the same way we saw like the Cowboys? Kind of got some cheap points at the end and ruined some bets there. Ravens by 10 points. That's my pick.
Whoa. You're going to tease it all the way up there?
You get a nice little alternate spread.
Okay.
Give me the question. I'll tell you what the alternate spread looks like.
I got married the day before Super Bowl, says Spencer S. Football guy.
He's good. There's no college games on. So you kind of get some grace after Thanksgiving.
I mean,
now
what's better?
The playoffs going to ruin a lot, but
if you got married the day before the Super Bowl, I guess the question is, on your honeymoon or going to your honeymoon, did you watch the Super Bowl? Because I feel like the next day is a travel day, and I feel like the Super Bowl would be a lot of fun to watch on your honeymoon as you're in like euphoria land where you have no cares in the world, and then wow, boom, football game right there.
Ravens minus 9.5 plus 251.
That's
I don't like teasing. Give up the points. Tucker is washed.
Tucker is completely washed. He's missing field goals left and right.
And Mark says, I as well like the Ravens in this one. Thanks for that behind the line stat to lock me in. There you go. BMO, there you go. I think we're forgetting about Joe Brady.
Joe Brady got run out of the league once upon a time.
BMO was there to defend him. He says Debo's expected to play. How about that? I mean, we saw Brock Purdy throw for almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns without everybody. Imagine when he does get everybody back. Holy cow.
Imagine that. Oh, my God.
Trent's Surgical 6 just dropped. If you're
Oh,
interested.
Lord. What is it?
What is Trent's Surgical 6?
Trent's a guy who puts parlays out all the time, just money line, and he's not very good.
He said next day was recovery day, Monday. Now that's okay. Yeah, football guy.
Football guy.
And now probably the grossest. Well, I don't know. It's a toss up between who's the grossest game: Cleveland, Las Vegas, or Tennessee, Miami. And apparently Tyler Huntley wants Baltimore. Was he the guy who made the Pro Bowl when Lamar Jackson quit on the Ravens?
You might get called a racist, but he's bizarro, Lamar Jackson. Like you don't know who's who when they're playing. These just skinny, fast guys.
Gosh, dude, they do. Like that was the perfect. There's never been a better backup quarterback fit, in my opinion.
Well, Nick Foles.
True. Well, yeah, Nick Foles. Joe Flacco for Deshaun Watson. Not really, but also
perfect. Yeah, upgrade.
Yes.
This is the third time in 4 years these teams played. And last year we saw Tua versus Will Levis. Titans overcame a pick six. I track this too. You throw a pick six, you give up punt return, kick return. It's just 3 points the other way. That's like hitting at a 70% clip the last 4 years too. So the fact that the Titans overcame a pick six, which Will Levis is known to do, he's continued to do that this year. Tannehill versus Tua in 2021. The Titans' offensive line allows defenses to get to the quarterback in the quickest time. They do not protect him at all. That being said, the Dolphins. So it's something magical when you're watching Tua because they use play action at a super high clip. They get the ball out at a super high clip, and they throw it deep at a super high clip. So all these things coming together, Tua is the only guy that can do it and run Mike McDaniel's offense, where it's snap, play action, look up, fire, open receiver, complete, move the ball down the field. If it's Tyreek Hill, he probably catches and runs. So you see these guys come in, the Huntleys, the Skylar Murrays. They come in
Mike
and
White.
they're just they can't do it. I mean, they've had their skill set, but Mike McDaniel's whole system revolves around the specialty that Tua possesses that no one else does. Tyler Huntley's great, God bless him, but it's just not going to play into Mike Daniel's playbook offense. Titans. I take the Titans to win last 3 weeks. Why stop now?
Dude, yes. Come on. Now's the time. When he keeps letting you down. When he keeps letting his mayo-greased hands slip victory through his fingertips. Now's the time when everybody's off of him. When he's lost 3 in a row. Now's the time. Mark says, glad I came across the channel. I'm going to head out and finish up some bets. Hey, man, good luck. Hopefully, JBonez provided some absolutely fire information. And thanks for tuning in, man. It's the Titans.
Wait, I got a good one for the last one.
Oh, one more game. Come on, Mark. This is the final one. It's the best game of the week, I think.
I think it's my second favorite.
Seattle, Detroit. Detroit 3.5. Are they going to run the damn ball?
Michigan State guy. What's his name? Running back, Seahawks.
Oh, Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, he's back.
Yep.
They're on the ball. Seahawks have won this series 6 straight years. And the last 3, it's the 3rd straight year they've matched up. Seattle's point total in those 3 games, 51, 48, 37. In 2022 and 2023, the Seahawks defense has intercepted it and run it back for points. I love it. Already put in a parlay. Seahawks defensive touchdown is an 8-1. Give me that all day long. The Lions center, Frank Ragnow, is out. Go look at PFF. Jared Goff is sandwiched between number 29, Anthony Richardson, and number 31, Caleb Williams. He just don't have it. I said in the comment section last week that their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, he was the sexy pick last year. He hasn't been sexy this year. Nope. He still hasn't been sexy. Jared Goff doesn't look great. They had an emotional win week 1, still haven't looked great. The Seahawks are going to pound the rock. The defense is going to score some points. The offense is going to score some points. You just can't keep waiting for the Lions to have an offensive explosion. If they're going to play mid teams and play mid, when they play a good team like the Seahawks, Mike McDonald knows how to get the boys up. He's the next generation of Mike Tomlin, getting the boys fired up for a football game. Monday Night Football, prime time, sexy uniforms, Detroit, shout out to you. But the Seahawks are going to win outright.
Oh, I hate that. I like the points and the information, but I hate it. I hate it so much because I hate the Seahawks. And I keep telling myself they're trash because they played the Patriots, the Broncos,
That was
and
gross.
the Dolphins without Tua, the game after without Tua. So I'm like, I don't know if I believe him, but then I'm like, this coach, he was the Ravens defensive coordinator, and their defense was filthy last year. And their defense does look pretty good this year. But this is so weird because we're sitting here talking about Geno Smith and Jared Goff in like a game of the week. That's just weird, man. We got all these generational quarterbacks, and the game of the week with these two teams is Geno and Jared. So
the Jets and the Panthers look up and see these quarterbacks that pass through their system. Sam Darnold was on both. He looks awesome. Baker Mayfield was a Panther. Dead. Franchise quarterback in Tampa. Geno Smith. Dead. Franchise quarterback out in Seattle. Sometimes you just have to find the right fit. These guys have the right fit. That's what they are. They pound rock. They got so many weapons. I mean, Lockett, Metcalf, and JSN. Who's competing with that? Your 49ers?
the
Close.
49ers.
A healthy Eagles, maybe?
The Eagles, I would say.
They can't all stay on the field.
The Rams, you could say.
When healthy, yeah.
Yep. Not the Cowboys. They have one wide receiver and a quarterback. That's it. They suck.
Well, that one wide receiver is also kind of a running back, it turns out.
Because they can't run the they can't
You
run
see
the
him?
ball.
They lined up CD Lamb in the backfield.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't
who's
get it
that?
going.
Oh, wait, what? CD's got the ball? They're hurting bad, man. Okay, Seahawks. Here we go. Feels like Detroit gets the first TD and everyone is excited. Then Seattle's just throttles.
Give me that.
Spencer, you were speaking the language, my friend. Spencer,
you sit on your couch on Monday night and you go, I'm not putting my bet in yet. I'm going to wait for the Seahawks to get more points and take the money line live. Pro tip.
There you go. So you wait until Detroit comes down, runs their scripted plays, boom, 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 7-0, and then you're like Seahawks money line right now.
Yeah. So when the Eagles played the Falcons, I did that because I didn't like. I want to take the Eagles, but I didn't want to give up 6 points. It seemed like too many, which that tells you take the Falcons, right? If you're scared of it, if you're teasing it down because you're out of fear, like wake up, take the other side. So I waited. I got Eagles at plus money, a nice little booster. Used it, felt good. Then Saquon dropped that damn ball, and the rest is history. But you live, you learn.
Oh my gosh, yes, Saquon. There you go, profit boost, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so what are we locking in? We've got San Francisco, we've got Houston. Those are the only, and Philly.
I don't think we lock in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
play the odds. I really like the Texans.
Yes, I agree.
I'm a fanboy for the Eagles, so I understand if you say no to that.
No,
I think I like the revenge factor on the Vikings a lot.
So you think Vikings plus 2.5?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the Cardinals.
Cardinals, got it. That's 4, and now we need one more. Absolute lock.
Ravens 100% in there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I have a hard time betting against Josh Allen.
I know you know a guy, but listen, 3-1 season's not over.
True.
And this could be a learning experience. They may need to face this kind of adversity so they can fix it when it actually matters in January.
Yes. All right. So Ravens 2.5, Cardinals 3.5, Minnesota 2.5, Houston 5.5, Eagles 1.5.
Get the Eagles out, put Seahawks in.
Whoa. Okay. We think the Seahawks are going 4-0.
Can't be called a homer if it doesn't go well. Everything else is based on fact. The weather is a concern. You don't know what you're getting down there, and it just.
Oh, that's true.
This is true. This is it. Tweet it.
Houston Minnesota, Arizona, Baltimore, Seattle.
Houston, Minnesota, Arizona, Seattle, Baltimore. We're putting that parlay in as soon as we get off the air.
Yes, we are.
Max unit, no mortgage payment this month. Sorry, honey. Parlay pick of the week.
Yes, the Stone Cold, Cold Stone, Marble Slab, Creamery, Ice Cream Roller, sprinkles on top pick of the week.
Listen, if the comment section comes from me next week, just remember, I was born in a middle-class family. My mother worked hard. I kind of know. I did watch through a sealed glass window in a climate-controlled auditorium.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I don't know what Highmark is. I know what it looks like on TV because that's how I watched the game from Highmark on TV.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's
There
our
you go.
tiebreaker there?
Oh, the tiebreaker is exact number of passing yards by both teams in the Titans Dolphins game. I'm going to go ahead and say 87.
Well, let's use
combined
some science. Let's back this thing by science, right? So what's their over under?
Titans Dolphins passing yards total.
Like, is someone going to win a vacation because they get this tiebreaker right?
Well, I think it doubles your money. I think you get the 1,000 for the week, and then you double it if you get it exactly right. So you get 2,000.
Oh my
That's what I've read. So
190. They don't have a lineup for the other guy. Jesus Christ.
I would say it'd be around the same. What, 170 to 180, maybe.
It was 195 for Will Levis.
Will Levis can throw for a lot of yards. He just makes 3 plays a game where you're like, what am I watching?
369. Damn, you're fine.
That's what it is. Dude, if that hits. That hits. Okay. There we go.
Venmo's open.
There we go. All right. Texans, Vikings, Cardinals, Ravens, Seahawks. A lot of birds in there. A lot of birds. So, okay. Birds Unlimited.
Birds. Maybe an all birds parlay.
If you like the Eagles and the Falcons.
And the
I
Cardinals.
think you said you did.
And the Ravens.
Tag Birds Unlimited.
We got Birds Unlimited. Free parlay.
This is the Birds Unlimited bird parlay of the week.
There's more where that came from. Join the Discord. Like and subscribe.
We'll tag Birds Unlimited on Twitter. I'm definitely doing that tomorrow. Okay. All right. Any other parlays or touchdown scores? I think that's what.
I think I covered. We'll summarize. I said Marvin Harrison. I said Derrick Henry. Breece Hall has scored a lot. Include him. Jamar Chase. The Eagles and Panthers are tied for the third most receiving TDs allowed to receivers, like him. Mike Evans also, obviously playing the Birds, so maybe don't like him as much. Saquon, Jordan Mason, and one I didn't name already. The Bears have the third most rushing TDs allowed to running backs this year. For that reason, we like Kyron Williams, who's scored a lot already. So Kyron Williams, Jordan Mason, Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Marvin Harrison. You get boosted on FanDuel to +7338.
Wow. I need to get that in writing. Okay.
Text me.
There you go. Okay. Well, this has been awesome. Round robin TD. Maybe.
That's fun. You know what a round robin is?
I don't know exactly how it works. Sometimes I do it and I don't know what I'm doing, but I click it.
Is that
what does it mean?
It is
round robin. That's part of the Birds Unlimited Bird Parlay of the week.
Yeah, so with the round robin, if you have like 6 guys and you say round robin 4, it just does every permutation of those 4 guys parlayed. So it's like a very expensive ticket, but you could start to hit some things. I mean, it's what's 4 permanent? 24 bets you're putting in for 6 4s.
Holy cow.
So if you're like 3 guys, you want to do a round robin 2 out of 3, you're winning. If you're 3 to It's fun to do that on like real long shot stuff. You have like 4 plus 500s. Do a little round robin, a 2-buy, and you could get all those, and it's a cheap ticket, but you hit one and it pays for itself, and you profit out of it.
Maybe I'll do that with the Birds Unlimited parlay of the week.
I didn't put Malik Neighbors 2 TDs in last week, and I was very upset by it. So anything I say, I'm putting in going forward.
Yes.
Birds parlay, TDs, and this Millie Goes 5-banger.
Seahawks, Ravens, Cardinals, Texans, Vikings. I like it. All right. There you go. This was fun.
It was fun. Thanks for having me. Glad Butch could come out.
I don't know where dude, sometimes he will fall asleep.
So what if I wasn't here? This would just be you?
Yes.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah,
just one of these. One of these. You never need me.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I do them. I'll do a Monday night recap. I hop on here. We're just it's fun. I enjoy doing it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Facebook now. I haven't put it on there, but if you've been watching this long,
you said that Thursday as well, or Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Then BMO will hop in from time to time.
You got a nice little bullpen. You got to build a bullpen up. That's good.
Yeah. We all have kids, so everybody can't. Just my house, everybody's asleep by like 9 o'clock, and so at night, I'm like, you know what? I used to play video games. I used to do other stuff, but now I do this, and it's a lot of fun because I get to hang out with my friends and we talk football, and that's really what it's all about. So,
yeah, she's my bedtime routine. I'd sit there and just put my ideas in the comment section. I was going to bring them on the show, but things happened. But I just abandoned my family at 10:30. It's time to record a podcast.
Here we go. That's it. Everybody, good luck.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, man. All right. See you later, folks.